T-minus 5 minutes. Minus 4 minutes. Minus 3 minutes. Minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
Log on to patreon.com/Dane Calloway or paypal.me/Dane Calloway to support me, my channel, and my content. Merchandise is now available at I'mJustHereToMakeYouThink.com.
All right, and we are on. Okay, good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be going over some information that I have mentioned before in the past, but it looks like a few of you all are commonly asking if I could go over that a little bit more so they can understand which direction they should go as far as research is concerned. No problem. I'm going to be doing that today. Let me pull this up. And as I'm pulling this up, let me let you guys know that I really do appreciate the fact that you guys are not, taking this information that I present with a grain of salt, that you are actually going back behind me and doing your own or conducting your own research, which is very, very needed here, especially in the day and age when information is leaving rapidly. I have mentioned this before, that people tend to gravitate towards the lies that are being portrayed nowadays because the lie is more entertaining versus them gravitating towards more the truth, in which I'm not knocking anyone that force feeds themselves with a form of entertainment or anything like that, but that's the things that does need to change. But I'm not here to knock anybody. I'm here to teach, and I'm here to educate, whatever terminology you want to use in that particular matter. And here's one of the main things. Now, people call me crazy a lot, okay? And especially when it comes to this particular information. And I laugh at that, and I smile at that because I know I'm doing something correct when I get responses like that. And that's not for all people, it's just some people. Some of the people that have absolutely no idea about this particular information. So that's the reason why I go over it the way that I do, even if it's inside of my documentaries or outside of my documentaries, like how you're seeing right now. So we're going to be going over that. It's a topic that I brought up on my Patreon. Shout out to my patrons on my Patreon that are supporting me. After I present this information, because I'm going to jump straight into it. But the topic at hand, I stated on a post that some people will call me crazy for saying that all of the eastern land of the so-called North America, which is states like New York, New Jersey, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, etc., were once called Virginia by early English explorers and recorders of information from direct order by way of the Virginia Company of London. Okay, this map that you see right here, double check, yep, you can see it now. This map is called the Carta of all of the coast of Virginia. This map was done in 1590 by a recorder of information. He's not an explorer, he is a recorder of information. His name is Theodorus de Dry. Theodorus de Dry, and they shorten his name up to Theodore, of course. And this is his name, right? I mean, well, this is his picture right here. Okay, Theodorus, Bry, Theodorus de Bry, I apologize. Theodorus de Bry. Yeah, so this map was done in 1590, and what's very important here is that it depicts the coastal side of the current coast of what is now called North Carolina. Okay, now if you really look closely at the top, you'll see that it has the correct spelling of Virginia. It will say VIRGINIA. And I really want you to pay close attention to how this map looks. Like, as if you look at the gray area at the bottom there, that's actually depicting water towards the land. So you know this map is kind of in reverse, like how I mentioned before, okay? Because technically, if we look at a US map here, it will be, you see where North Carolina is. So now you see what you're looking at, okay? As far as this map is concerned that I'm about to go back to right here. This is how this map was drawn because of the information that Theodore received from explorers or English explorers that were coming back from their journeys from these lands here in America, and especially North America, to be quite frank. You could find this map in the UNC Chapel Hill, the North Carolina connection. I'll give you the catalog number. This is where this is sourced. It's capital letters FVCC 970.1, capital H 28, lowercase w, North Carolina collection. Okay, so I laugh at those that call me crazy because I just know that you cannot debate truth. All of these land masses were once called Virginia by the Virginia Company of London because they sent people like those explorers that I mentioned, not Theodore in this case. He was just recording what the explorers were stating when they came back. The explorers that were coming here were told to come here in order to propagate the gospel. As a matter of fact, their congregation was called the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts, in which I will be going over in a later documentary. It's already in the works right now, so that should be released here shortly. By the way, guys, just to mention this, there are a lot of documentaries that will be released back to back here. I've just been busy working on the movies behind the scenes, so the movies could hurry up and come out, because a lot of you guys are requesting that, whether if it be, you know, I could stream it on different streaming platforms, or they could purchase the physical copy by DVD. With me doing this all on my own, it did take a little bit of time, but it is coming. I could definitely tell you that. But it's very important. I wanted to point this out, that I mentioned this. Okay, this is actually showing you both sides, South Carolina and North Carolina, but this particular area is called Roanoke Island. I'm trying to grab the map here, flipped. Okay, here we go. This is in this particular case, this is how the map would look when you look at like a US map per se. Like if I flip it this way, like scale it in that way, you see Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, right? So that's what you're looking at. See the water, you see the land. Technically that will be considered nowadays the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks, okay? Right off of the coast, yeah. So Roanoke Island is where this particular map is showing you the Outer Banks, that Roanoke Island. It's so important that I mention this to you guys. This map, like I said, was done in 1590. And it was showing you, like I said, the coastal side of the current coast of what is now called North Carolina. But it was then called Virginia in 1585. 1585. Okay? All of that landmass. Even further up or down, whatever you want to look at it, okay? All of it, all the way up to New York, all of it was called Virginia. Okay? And this is just one side of the proof. There's something I wanted to point out here. Give me a second to pull this up. Okay. Okay. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to pull everything up so I can have it right in front of me. All right. So, okay. What I'm about to show you next is an engraving of the Freedman School. I'm going to go into why it was called Freedman School. Just watch. Now, according to the North Carolina Museum of History, this is an engraving of the Freedman School. Trying to get the date. They were stating that this happened in 1866. Okay, this information has been updated. We're going to go into why. This engraving was done in 1868. Stay with me because I'm going to throw out some dates here. It's very important. Okay. Now, keep in mind at this time, they're going to tell you that the slavery was over with 1863. 1863, 1865, they'll say that, you know, of course, slavery was abolished. Now, take a look at this engraving. You don't see any chains and shackles, etc., etc. You don't even really see any books in these children's hand. You just know that there are people of color right there, right? Just gonna keep it short and sweet. We're gonna go over this. Okay. It's listed as an engraving image. Now, this is technically a replica of this image. Okay, that is a replica of that, and this is a real image, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real picture. According to the Library of Congress, this picture was taken 10 years before it was engraved in 1858. That's sourced directly from the Library of Congress. Now, this has to make you wonder, okay? Are we, you know, really unsure of how far back photography actually existed? Because they're creating, you know, you'll see this a lot. They're creating multiple engravings of actual images that already exist, okay? But they want to make us believe that they're paintings or whatever. They want to make these paintings more prominent, okay, than the actual photographs that do exist, okay, to make us think certain things were like much older than the 1800s per se. Okay. Now, it also should make you wonder, if for those that have been following me for quite some time, this should also make you wonder, if they have photos like this, then where's the photo of Nat Turner? Okay. Now, all right, here's another one. And keep in mind, this is on Roanoke Island. This is the same location that I just showed you on that particular map that was done in 1590. This is where this Freedman School is located, on Roanoke Island. These are the people that lived on Roanoke Island. Okay, now take a look. Look at the people. What would you assume these people are? Now, some of you will say that they're African because they're people of color, okay? But wouldn't this say African school and not Freedman? Stay with me. Wouldn't there be some mentions of African somewhere in the description of this particular photo, or even the engraving for that matter that was located on that website? Okay, directly from the North Carolina Museum of History, whatever it was called. I don't have it pulled up again. But no mention of Africa anywhere. And if they are African, it should be, right? Keep in mind, this is not too long ago. So let's take a closer look at the term freedman. I mentioned this before in a lot of my documentaries, a lot of them. And I'm not too sure if you guys caught on to what I was trying to mention here. I'm trying to tell you exactly why they called these particular people, our ancestors, freedmen. Here's why. Freedman is a religious term created by the Quakers. Think about it. I'll explain why here, but listen to the timeline. The Virginia Company of London sent a group of people called the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts to the southeastern side of these lands, or eastern side of these lands. Okay? So what you're looking at is not a school, not the schools that we're used to. What you're looking at are churches. Freedman is a religious term that was created by the Quakers. Okay? What they're trying to do is state that they are, okay, let me break it down. These schools were not taking place to teach math and science, stuff like that. No. They were definitely telling you everything that was in the Bible. Think about this. No other books but the Bible. Freedman. The only thing that was taught inside of these schools, in these freedmen schools, was Bible study. The reason why they called these people freedmen is because they wanted to free their mind, okay, from what they were originally used to and already accustomed with. This is called a form of indoctrination. This was a social engineering experiment that was done to manipulate the mindset of the people and free them, okay, from their original way of thinking. But this is going to free you. This is going to save you. This is another method that they utilized to tell the people, hey, you could. It's installing fear into the people's hearts and minds. Okay, I'm not bashing no one's religion. I'm just telling you what happened historically. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. I'm just letting you know what happened historically and why they called our ancestors freedmen. It had nothing to do with slavery. Nothing. It wasn't about freeing us from chains and shackles. This picture was taken during slavery. Allegedly, slavery. This picture, according to the Library of Congress, said 1858. But you gonna tell me slavery existed? I told you that slavery existed, but not the way that we were told. Okay? Somebody said before, they took the chains and shackles off of us physically and placed it on our brain. No, it wasn't even on us physically. It was always on our brain. They controlled you. They controlled our ancestors mentally, subsidized their way of thinking. Does a free thinker think this way? No. So what you freeing them from? See? Think about it. I want you guys to put the focus on this right now. They didn't already lie to you and said that this is an engraving done in 1868. But I could go to the Library of Congress and pull up the physical picture that was done in 1858. The other one was 1868. The engraving. Right there. Now just imagine all of these engravings that we getting, that we was, that we could see, and they look like this, the engravings or paintings, whatever term you want to use. Think. They hiding the pictures from you. They don't want you to know that that was real. See, because somebody lying. And I've been telling you, and I'm always going to tell you, that everything that you were ever told is a lie. See, I tried to tell myself, don't get like this, but I get real passionate. And if you don't like the fact that I get passionate, go ahead. Move on. Move on to the next. And see, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. No more. And I haven't been, actually. Our people we deserve to know the truth. And this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm not going to stop. I want you to imagine all the paintings that they said was this year and that year in the 16 and the 1700s that. Imagine that. That they actually took the picture, the physical picture, and painted that picture. Selling it for thousands of dollars. You should see how much money this picture costs. You'll find out. Those researchers, you guys will find out. I want y'all to listen, y'all. Listen. I want y'all to hear me out. When you do your research, you cannot stop. Just because somebody else is turning their nose up to the information, like you trying to tell them, look, whoever it is, you gotta listen to me. Don't put it on them. Put it on yourself. Because it's not gonna be a whole bunch of people that's gonna gravitate towards the truth at one time, at least not right now. You owe it to yourself and your family and your ancestors to do it for your entire breed. You. It's the reason why that we're all here right now. It's the reason why we are not here to waste time. I ain't got time to waste. See, I don't got time. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I don't care who don't like it. It's not about that. That's why they say the truth hurts. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt me. Finding out all these lies that they've been telling us. And look, been telling them non-elite white folks the same thing. So stop putting it on white people. Because it ain't all just them. Right now, you can see I'm getting attacked by my own brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm not going to consider them closely related to me, no. But I mean, we do share the same hue of complexion. Right now. And if you look at it historically, anybody that started coming out with the truth, they were attacked by their own people. Y'all afraid of change. That's what it is. You're afraid. Like right now, you're afraid to just go ahead and tell your husband or your wife, let's get up and let's just go. Let's get away from here and start all over. You're gonna be afraid to do that. Why? Because you got so comfortable with where you at right now. You got so comfortable and became accustomed to the way you live. You just much rather live the way you living and then die, and that's it. And then you turn around and complain about everything that you see on radio, television, you name it. Well, how come this ain't changing? That white boy killed that black guy. That y'all sick and tired of that, but still letting it happen. We have to change as a people in order to see some change. Stop putting the blame where it don't need to be. Pick up a mirror and look at yourself and say, what did I do to make that change? For the better now, not just any change, for the better. We want to unite, okay? We want to uplift our people, that's all right. But how we gonna do it without change? You get a 9 to 5. Before you get a 9 to 5, they tell you in that little questionnaire, are you gonna be able to adapt to change because this is a rapid paced environment? Go ahead and tell that questionnaire no and watch you ain't get that job. Watch you don't get that job. You gotta be willing to change, period. Generally speaking, you gotta be willing to change. Millionaires don't become millionaires. This is just an example. By just some overnight thing. What they do, they make mistakes, just like anybody else. But they learn from them and make a change. And then the success comes. Boom! And that's just an example. When a company crashing down, here go another one. When a company crashing down and they losing their money, they gotta make a drastic change for the better, right? Am I lying? The reason why I point out things historically about what happened is because we gotta know the truth about what happened in the past in order to correct them now, to have a better future. Otherwise, we just wasting time. Otherwise, we ain't gonna see nothing but the same old, same old. See? I'm tired of that. I don't know about you. I'm tired of that. I'm not raising my kids up the way they were, back then, like how they did back then. I'm not doing that. It's time for a change. The only way it's gonna happen is with you. We can't wait for no government to step forward. For what? They not changing the law. You see police officers killing innocent people daily. Did they raise a finger to change the law? No. They're not supposed to. Why? Because it's already in law to kill us all. I said this before. So I'm going to calm down, and we going, like I said, we going to change. It's coming. Whether people don't like it or not, I don't care if you share the same hue of complexion with me or not. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you shaking your head and, oh, I disagree. I don't care. It's gonna be people out there that's gonna know the truth, and they gonna know who they are, because they not gonna take somebody else's word for it, including mine. They're gonna find out on their own. Then they gonna turn around and see for themselves right in front of their face. That's what it's about. And then we can start moving towards that dialogue to make us some real change. Dane, what's the end result? We'll figure it out once we go ahead and have everybody knowing or becoming cognizant of who they are. That's number one. Do that first. See? Check and see if your ancestors came off a boat. Those records exist. Check and see. Only 2% were Africans. The rest was already here. I told you that. But the Africans traveled here thousands and thousands of years ago. Where? Where you find that at? See, this is what I'm talking about. Right there. Listening to somebody else and not trying to find out on your own. You can check the record. How a DNA genealogy test that's full of congestions, okay, more creditable than documentation? It's not. You just making it that way. You much rather spend $200 to $300 on some strangers that's taking your information, and I mean your DNA, that's your information, that's your data. You don't know what they doing behind the scenes, but then a month or whatever later, send you some results and say, here go our guesses. We don't know for sure. And that's with any DNA genealogy testing company. They don't know nothing. They started recording information by documentation in the middle of the 1600s. I don't believe nobody that tell me thousands of years ago, because you wasn't living then. Where you get that information from? See, that's what I'm talking about. I don't believe nobody that tell me, oh, but the thousands of, nah. How can you prove that? I'm that type of person. I'm not gonna sit up here and waste nobody's time and feed them some BS. I'm not here for that. I'm here to unify our people. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your personal. I'm here to unify our people because that's what's needed. That's what's been missing. And I can tell you about when we were unified before and what happened. What changes needed to be made then that we can make right now. History only repeats itself because you allow it to. Because you choose not to know about history, about real history. And I mean the real story, not his story. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. That's why I don't tie myself up with nobody. I don't trust nobody. That's why. As I see, it was a lot of our own people that was doing the betraying. They're gonna tell you Freedman means that they freed you from slavery, and you look at this damn picture. Slavery was happening during that time, allegedly. You don't see no chains, no shackles, nothing. As a matter of fact, the so-called black man that's to the right, fresh, clean, slack shoes, hat, and everything. The so-called black woman that's behind all of the children, fresh, clean. Who's the woman to the left? They brought religion over here first, y'all. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you know that. But these weren't schools. They were churches. They were subsidizing our people. They were subsidizing the way of their way of thinking. They didn't want them to be free thinkers. And they were also decimating their literacy towards their own native tongue. Y'all always, well, how come we don't speak their native tongue? Because they took it away. How you think we learn English? English wasn't our original language. What do you mean? We didn't start having haircuts and all this in clothes and all. Well, we had certain clothes, We're not fully clothed and stuff like that. We weren't doing all of that all the time. They brought these foreigners brought their cultures over here and made us learn it. How did they do? They were killing our chiefs. I'm going to go more in depth with that and show you guys what happened. This is not it. I just wanted to point this particular thing out right there, just to let you know that yes, the majority of the southeastern lands, or the eastern lands of the so-called North America, was called Virginia by way of the Virginia Company of London. Sent those people over here. I'm going to mention it again just in case you're writing this down. It was called the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. These people were responsible. I'm talking about Catholics, Jesuits, Quakers. I could go down the list. Many denominations of the Catholic Christian Society were responsible for telling our people this fear-mongering tactic of religion. Well, I'm talking about something happened and we saying, "Oh Lord, help us," to make it seem as if we're not, we can't help ourselves. There's not no knock to religion. Okay, this is the reason why I'm telling you like this. I'm just saying, this is what they did. This is documented. This is what they did. And look, and it was missionary groups, which was the religious, people that I was mentioning. The missionary groups were the ones that built, had the idea of creating these particular churches. Forget schools. And it was our ancestors that built it. I'm talking about the structure of the building. We did all of that. And got paid to do it. And got paid. This is where you see, I use the term prisoners of war. We were indentured servants. Our ancestors were. They got paid. A lot of promises were made that somebody didn't keep. And I'm going to keep mentioning that. And I'm going to keep putting out the information. And it's always going to be answering those questions. And I seen a lot of people be like, "Well, Dane, I mean, if we Aboriginal, if we're indigenous, why you keep using the term African American in the title?" I said, because there's a whole lot of people that don't know that they are indigenous to this land. But I know they're gonna click on a video that might say Black or African American because somebody else telling them that that's who they are. So I want them to come on over here by seeing that title that's saying Black or African American, so they could start learning who they are. And then they could do it on their own and really know who they are. It's not about believing, it's about knowing. So, you gotta understand that. You gotta understand what happened to us. And this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because the first thing that you do, if you want to take over a person's mind and take their land, you give them something to fear. You give them something to fear. You give them religion. I'm just here to make you think.